Hi guys, I'm on a bit of a YouTube marathon this afternoon. I don't know whether they'll all be uploaded at the same time, so if they're not, this won't really make any sense to you, but just trying to film in a few videos while I've got a little bit of peace and quiet in the house. So this is another one of my junk journals. It's again been adapted from what was going to be a 6x6 mini album. I've now transformed it into a junk journal instead. So it's been ring bound with my bind it all machine, and it's got obviously a card cover back and front. It's got a little bit of lace trim, and then it's fastened with this black ribbon which just winds round actually a couple of times round the journal, because sorry, knocked the tripod. I've seen a few people do that and quite like that kind of thing. Oops, just knocked the paper clip off there. So on the front cover, I had paper clipped on these few little items, but I might need to kind of just tuck them in the ribbon, I think, because I'm not sure the paper clip was really kind of holding them because of the thick card cover. So there's this lovely Eiffel Tower image on the sheet music with some lace trim. That's just on that black cardstock. And then here there's a little coin envelope with a little tag here that's been stitched on the sewing machine with a vintage image and some fabric. So that just goes in there. And then here there's a little coordinating other tag with again some sheet music, this time from a decoupage napkin on again to the black cardstock. I think that just looks really striking. And then it's got one of my little layered up butterflies with a mulberry flower in the middle. And I left these kind of on the outside cover because then obviously if you wanted to use them for your own journals rather than in here, because this one's pretty stuffed as you can see, then you can just take them off and obviously use them on your own journals. So then on the front cover, there's this lovely chipboard image which I've covered in paper and distressed it, and it's got this lovely William Blake quote, no bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. So I think that's quite a nice quote. It's just got this little journaling spot here. It's got this domino. So I'm going to call this album Lucky 6 because I notice other people often give their journals names, and I haven't really been doing that particularly. But actually now I've made quite a few. I'm going to start doing that because it gets a bit confusing kind of when you're listing them on YouTube or anywhere really, and you don't really know which journal you're then referring to if they're just all called a vintage style journal. So I'm going to call this Lucky 6 or Lucky Number 6 album or journal. Then it's just got some book paper, it's got some map atlas paper and a bit of Hessian trim, another little kind of journaling spot thing. And then it's got this fabric trim down the side and some coffee stained lace and this gorgeous button there. So inside it's got this kind of cardboard, I don't know really what you call it, but it's from some packaging actually. And I just really, really liked it. So I've used that there and I've tied some really soft netting around it and put some lace trim down the side. It's got this lovely journaling spot up the top. And then this little kind of decorative bit that I've done as a tuck spot down the bottom. Got this lovely new stamp the other day with a calendar. So you could kind of write whatever date you wanted, circle the date and write some notes. So really like that stamp. And then on the facing page, it's just got a little journaling spot saying memories. And then it's got various bits and bobs stuck on there. Another journaling spot here. These again are some new stamps I got the other day with some die cuts to kind of coordinate with the shape of the stamp, so really like those. And then here is a little handmade tag that's been stitched on the sewing machine. It's got some soft net, it's got some greaseproof paper for the noise, and a little fabric tab with this vintage image. So that just tucks in there. Then on the back page, or sorry, the back of the page, just a little bit of paper here and some lace trim at the top and the word Armour. Then on this page, again, all the pages have been coffee stained or distressed, so mainly coffee stained. Just got a little decoupage napkin image. It's got some lace trim, journaling spot that's just used as a little pocket there. And I've had this for ages, this like vintage camera Really love it. Didn't really ever know where to kind of put it, but actually now I'm holding it here, I think, oh, it looks really nice there. But for some reason, didn't think of that while I was making the journal, so I've just tucked it in here. Obviously, you know, you could just take it out and use it in your own journals, or stick it here, which actually I just think looks really, really nice. Anyway, I've put it in there. And then this is actually made from an envelope, which is then acting as a pocket. It's got more of that greaseproof paper and some sheet music, and it's been stitched on the sewing machine. So again, that goes in there. And then there's a little tuck spot here with a little card, pull out tag, and a little layered up heart. And then on this page, just got some atlas paper, some lace trim. The atlas paper is acting as a pocket. That goes in there, a bit of hessian. And then over the page, again, another one of these vintage kind of die cuts that I've had for ages. Thought it went really nicely with these papers. So it's a little suitcase, and I just cut with a craft knife through the back there. And I've just got this "Remember This Moment" tag, just held together some lace and some coffee stained fabric to it with a bulb pin, and that just slots in there. And then just here is a coffee stained envelope, which I have obviously made a pocket on the other side with some greaseproof paper and sewing machine details. That just tucks in there, some book paper on there, vintage car image, some hessian, then one of these lovely French adverts. And then this page here, just got this journaling spot. Just the back of that, coffee stained paper, and here is a poem from the World War I soldiers, which just thought coordinated really nicely with this, so just put that in there. And then here, some paper, little tile and a frame and some lace. And then here, that lovely stamp that I discovered a few weeks ago in my stash. And then here, this is just a little pocket that I've made by just joining the two different scrapbook papers together. And in there, oops, I've got a handmade tag, which has got this greaseproof paper, vintage image of a telephone, an old-fashioned telephone, some lace trim, fabric trim, a little lace tab. That just tucks in there. And then the back is just plain really, other than these couple of little bits of detail down there. Then this side, again, a journaling spot. Again, these are some new die cuts that I've used in a couple of journals now. And here's some greaseproof paper. That's just been stitched on the sewing machine again. I've left the back plain for some journaling, some coffee stained paper here. And then this one, again, a little tuck spot pocket with the atlas paper, and just a little one of those pads from kind of scraps. That just tucks in like that. And then I quite liked leaving the top of the pad, like the whole bit. So I just tied some lace on there. I thought it made it, you know, just a decorative detail really. Then here there's just an acetate frame that just tucks in. Here just some lace trim, journaling spot, and I left the back plain. Here one of those vintage images. White paper. So I must have forgotten to either coffee stain or distress that. So some white paper there. Bit of coffee stain paper, and here again more of that lovely paper. Made a pocket and made a little booklet on the sewing machine. So with the greaseproof paper, it's got this fabric and acetate hot air balloon stuck on it, stitched on it, and then some pages in there. That just tucks in. And then here there's a belly band, just with some cardstock and then some lace. Little tag with some atlas paper, just tucks in. Left the back plain. Then here another tag with typewriter image. I did actually copy this idea from one of the Angie Bunner Happy Mail videos. She had made some tags like this. I don't know whether she's actually got a stamp that does this, but I tried to kind of copy her version with a variety of stamps. So obviously the frame, then the script, and then the typewriter, by just covering up obviously one bit and then the other bit. There's a tuck spot here, back plain. Tried to leave quite a few bits plain for journaling. Then here, little book page envelope, just paper clipped on with the paper clip, and then it's got a little book for journaling. That just goes in there. And then the paper clip, obviously, it's just got some lace trim on it, and it just holds on. And then here is just a kind of coin envelope, which acts as a pocket. It's got a butterfly on it and pull out tag. That just goes in there. And then on the back side, it's got one of those gorgeous postcards. I love using those as a pocket. And this that's been stitched on the sewing machine tucks in. And here is an envelope from Thesaurus paper. And inside it's just got one of these little fold out pieces of journaling paper. Got some lace trim and a little stamped image. And then here just got some stamped image and some lace, and it's a pocket. It's greaseproof paper with a little booklet. Unfortunately, I had a lot of problems with my sewing machine on this day, so the side not particularly neat, I'm afraid. So tried to kind of cover it up with this ribbon, not that successfully, I have to be honest. But obviously being greaseproof paper, I couldn't really get anything to glue over it. So apologies for that, and maybe whoever gets the journal might have a better idea of how to cover that up, or just live with that and kind of not really mind it. I wouldn't mind it if it was my journal, but you know. Here, this page, I've just got a book page pocket, and here another one of those bulb pins and a little kind of image of a plane, a vintage plane. And again, this is a new stamp of mine with this kind of like jotter paper. Really like it. And I like having the lines because I'm rubbish at writing in a straight line, so for me, I really like that. Back I've left plain for journaling, this little image here. And then this page, it's just got a little label here for journaling, and then it's just got a paper clip here with, again, a bit of lace kind of on there. And it's got a little booklet with the atlas paper and some pages. And then this gorgeous little mason jar onto acetate. So that's that. And again, that was another new stamp, the mason jar. It's because I've not really been very well with my cold, so I was obviously feeling sorry for myself and had to buy myself some new things. And then here I've got, again, that calendar, and I've just made it into a little fold-out flap. That just tucks into that pocket like that. And then here, another one of those hearts with some greaseproof paper. And then there, another little image with some journaling space. Another hot air balloon, and then another pocket here, atlas paper, another pull-out tag, just slots in, and then another, you know, quite plain paper for journaling that side, and a chipboard tile there with the corset. And then here I've just got a fold-down flap from coffee stained paper. It just goes like that. It is actually a pocket, that one. If I recall, so you probably could get a little tag, skinny one, and kind of pop it in. And then on the final page, just got plenty of journaling space. I have a feeling this might be a tag as well, if I recall. Yeah, unfortunately, obviously not quite wide enough for the coin envelope, but yeah, another top-loading pocket there. It's got one of those vintage Tim Holtz rosettes, a couple of tags and a bulb pin, some lace trim. And then on the back, it's pretty much plain other than the lace trim and this gorgeous little wooden tile with these birds on it. Yeah, so I hope you liked it. It's turned out pretty massive and chunky. Just the way I seem to like to make them. So yeah, hope you liked it, and please leave any comments below. I really appreciated the comments that I got in one of my videos that I uploaded earlier on this week, because otherwise sometimes you just wonder whether you're just waffling and no one's really kind of watching them or liking them, I think, you know. So yeah, thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Bye.